Well, in today's Baby Talk segment, we are discussing car safety seats. Now, I'm one of those moms where every time I strap my son in, BJ, I'm concerned. What am I going to do? Is it doing it correctly? Is he okay? If something happens, will he be okay? All right. Well, of course, thanks for joining us. And, of course, this is my son, BJ. And so we're going to kind of teach him how to get strapped in. And this is an initiative by seats.Check, correct?
Right. And we're going to actually have a child safety seat checkup this weekend at Philpott. And so everybody can come by, get their car seats checked out, make sure they're installed properly, make sure their car seat hasn't been recalled, things like that. And so we're really trying to push out there to make sure your car seats are installed correctly.
You know, and it's something that no one ever wants to think about, but there has been several accidents recently where, you know, the mom didn't have their baby strapped in correctly.
Right. And so it's just really, really important. In fact, more than 80% of child safety seats are installed incorrectly. And so it's really important just to make sure you're doing everything as correctly as you can.
I know we're going to have like a little bit of a demonstration of actually installing BJ in correctly. So, you know, I'm going to give him his bottle. Maybe he won't be so focused on actually what's going on. Because he's actually climbed in here himself. We were going to put him in here later. Okay, he doesn't even want to.
And this is Georgette. She works with me at seats.Check. And this seat is actually really cool. It's a convertible seat, so it can be rear facing or forward facing. And he is under 2, right?
Yes, and he's 1.5.
Right. So it's really recommended for children under the age of 2 to be rear facing. And so this seat you can do rear facing. And then when he turns 2, you can turn it around and he can be forward facing.
Now, what I was going to ask is, when you are shopping for a car seat, are there certain things that you should look for?
Well, you just want to make sure that you get a car seat that's right for their weight and their height, and you want to make sure you always look at the labels when you're installing them as well, and as well as your owner's manual of your vehicle will help you as to whether you're supposed to use the seat belt or if you actually have a latch system.
Okay, and then one other question I had is, I know that even when you and I were talking about putting this together, you said make sure it's not on the recall list. Now, is there a way, you know, how do parents find that out?
Well, you can actually call our office.
Yes, okay.
Our seats.Check office, and we can figure that out for you. And there are some websites. I don't have them off the top of my head.
Absolutely. But I mean, if you just go into Google and put car safety seat recall, maybe something like that, I'm sure that they would come up.
Right. And what Georgette did, we always want to make sure these are up by their armpits.
Okay.
And you want to make sure it's very snug. Okay. And so we say snug is a hug.
Yeah, okay.
And so, like, there's, you know, no slack, and that there's in there tightly, that nothing's going to happen to them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, BJ, for being such a good trooper. And, of course, just this Saturday, it's going to be going on.
Right, at Philpott in Nederland from 10 to 1.
All right. And from my understanding, expect for it to be like at least, like, well, a half an hour or less, you know, to make sure everything's installed properly.
Right, and you need to make sure you bring your child as well as their height and weight measurements.